Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you. I found this little watering can from the Dollar Tree and I thought we could decorate it, make it into like a floral arrangement. Now it's like kind of a funky shape because it's one of the plastic watering cans. If you had like a real metal one or a thrift flip, that would be even prettier. But since it's plastic, I want to kind of decorate it and distress it to try to make it look a little prettier. So the first thing I'm going to use are these little gold butterfly decals from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could kind of just decorate all over. You know, a lot of times watering cans, are made out of like tin. So I thought that metallic look would be pretty. I could bring that in with the butterflies and it's going to make them look super springy. And then I found several kinds of flowers from the Dollar Tree in that like salmon color. I think they're going to look really pretty. They're going to go with my pink and blue color scheme we've got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the whole package of these butterflies. No need to have any butterflies like laying around afterwards. Just kind of moving them around in a random pattern. And I don't have enough to go all over, but I do have enough to do like the front and both sides, even some on the handle. Now, I don't want them to be super glossy, and I found that the plastic already looks kind of glossy because it's plastic, so kind of want to like distress it, hide the fact that it is plastic, so that's why I'm going to go over the entire thing with matte Mod Podge. It also kind of tones down like the iridescence of these like gold foil butterflies. I want them to be shiny, but only so much. And I like that this kind of gives like a texture that it's painted. It's going to make it look way much like less like plastic when it has like a textured finish. So I do go over with 2 coats because it was still looking kind of shiny. And again, I'm using the matte Mod Podge to kind of tone that down a little bit. That also helps to seal all those decals on there as well. And this is how it's looking. I thought it looked a little too perfect, so I'm gonna distress it as well. Just because I like to distress things, kind of goes with the coastal vibe in my house, but this step is totally optional for you. I distressed it pretty heavy, going over with a baby wipe, but be very careful if you're gonna use matte Mod Podge first because you don't want to take that off, so you don't want to rub too hard. But I'm going to heavily distress it. I just kind of wanted to make it look old and less like plastic. And then I thought this would be a perfect vase to fill with those pink flowers for spring. And I'm going to go ahead and distress the back as well, even though I didn't put any butterflies back there, just for a little bit of uniformity. Now, the only thing I didn't really like about it is that since it is plastic, it is very lightweight. So I did want to weigh it down because I don't want this like tipping over. So I'm just going to use some rocks. I have some of the white rocks from the Dollar Tree, but you can use whatever you've got. Get creative. And I'm going to fill that up. The great thing about this is that after I'm done with this, I can use this as a watering can. Very functional. And on top of the rocks, I'm just going to cut some pieces of floral foam so I can kind of stand the flowers up there. That way we can do like an arrangement. Now I found a couple different kinds of flowers. I found 2 packages of these flowers. Beautiful. They're kind of a smaller flower compared to the other one that I have there. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of separate all of those, that 2 packages of those, and kind of scatter those all over. And in the middle, we can put these, but I do want to save one of these flowers for another DIY that we're going to do today. So I'm just going to steal one before I forget. And then we'll just use the rest for this flower arrangement. Now I'm just using my floral scissors from the Dollar Tree and we're just going to start cutting these apart. I like to cut them apart because I find it easier to arrange. And I'm seeing if my foam is tall enough. It's not quite, so I'm just going to put a couple more pieces in there to make that a little taller. Not gluing them down or anything, because again, I want to be able to use this in the future. And then I'm just going to start scattering these all around the edges. I thought about like mixing up like different colors, like maybe some white flowers in there, but I really liked just this beautiful like salmon pink color. Thought it was really pretty, and it's a really nice contrast against the blue watering can. So once I get those all in there, I'm just going to go ahead and use the rest. I want them to be a little bit taller though, so I am just going to shove the whole thing in there all together. And this is how it turned out, our little watering can vase full of flowers for spring. Super easy, super whimsical. This would be great indoor or outdoors on your porch for spring. And the fact that I weighed it down, it's going to be a little bit more stable, so you don't have to worry about it blowing over constantly if it's outside.